Shalom. All praises to Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. This is y&ymission. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. y&ymission teaches the 100% truth doctrine is GMS. I want to go into the airline industry again. Bring out this video and some scriptures. Basically, Delta pilot got arrested, and the outcry or confusion amongst the passengers that witnessed this, okay, and how that has affected them, okay. The Heavenly Father is speaking to the airline industry. He's going to shut this bitch down, okay. He's going to shut the U.S. airline industry down. But Esau is not taking heed, nor does he care, okay. So bring out the video and some scriptures.
We're learning new details about the Delta pilot who passengers say was forced off a flight by federal agents after the plane landed at SFO last night. ABC 7's Frances Wang spoke with one of those passengers. Tonight, that passenger says she is still in disbelief about what she saw play out.
Tonight, planes coming and going at San Francisco International. Business as usual. But on Saturday night, when Delta Flight 2809 from Minneapolis landed, it was anything but business.
We were all shocked and stunned what was happening.
Sarah frequently flies this route. She tells ABC 7 just after the plane landed and passengers began reaching for their bags, federal agents rushed on board.
They barged through and stormed the cockpit, removed the co-pilot, cuffed him, presumably arrested him, brought him back down the aisle to deplane.
She counted at least 10 agents, some wearing badges she recognized from Homeland Security. ABC 7 reached out to the Department of Homeland Security, who referred us to the U.S. Attorney's Office. Tonight, we're still waiting for a response.
I don't know if this person was disappearing before our eyes, if there had been a crime committed, or what exactly was happening.
Other passengers, flight attendants, even the other pilot, Sarah says looked just as confused. The image of the co-pilot being taken off the plane still sticks with her.
It was scary. It was traumatic to watch. As soon as my husband picked me up from baggage claim, I jumped in the car and cried because who knows what's happening to that poor person, why that happened, what did we just see?
And this isn't the only airline incident making headlines this week. A grandmother on Delta opening up about trying to stop a fellow passenger from entering the cockpit. People left frightened after a Southwest flight rapidly descended to avoid a Hawker Hunter aircraft. And American Airlines flyers out of Denver forced to evacuate shortly after takeoff. What Sarah witnessed coming into SFO,
it's just a huge question mark, and we need to know, why this happened.
This viral shower head boosts water.
Okay, so as you can see, okay, these curses are flipping on the Edomites, okay? You have a Edomite white woman, unbeknownst, unknown, doesn't understand anything, okay? And this is revenge, okay, of the Heavenly Father. Okay, this airline industry, as you can see towards the end, they said all these other airline incidents this week. Also, you had a power outage at BWI this week. Okay, so it is a lot going on just in an airline industry alone. We're not talking about anywhere else or any other industry in the United States. Okay, the Heavenly Father is speaking. Okay, so we're gonna bring out the scriptures. Job 33:14. For Yahawah speaketh once, yea twice, yet man perceiveth not. Right, and he's speaking. Okay, he's telling these people to shut down this airline industry. Okay, stop the movement of easy and fast travel, the distraction of travel amongst these Babylonians. Okay, you 2/3 and you heathens. Okay, he's getting sick of you all. All right, flying in his skies. Okay, this is not Esau's sky. Okay, this is his sky. Okay, so like I told you, all right, he's speaking. So you have all these aircraft issues. These planes are getting to the point right now when if they get off the air, they have to turn right back around, or they have to be forced to make an emergency landing, or forced to make a landing with some type of upheaval going on once they do land. So, back in the good old days, being a pilot was a prestigious prestigious profession, and is no longer considered that no more. It's just basically on par of like a ride share driver. Just you fly a fucking expensive plane. Okay, these pilots get no respect. The standards are lowered for the pilots. The criteria, the mental and physical criteria is low tier right now. Okay, and like I said, back in Esau's heyday, it was an honor to be a pilot back in the golden age. Okay, even a flight attendant, they used to call them stewardess. Right now, you see these flight attendants, they're fat. Okay, they're all types of unsatisfactory hairstyles. Their weight and height is just out of proportion. Okay, if you look back in the past, these women and the pilots had to look a certain type of way. They had to be physically appealing and fit and have certain measurements. Okay, a certain background, bachelor's degree, aviation, college, some type of 4-year bachelor or master's degree or college degree. Okay, they had to be able to speak and enunciate and communicate well, right? So these standards have been lowered because we're at the last days. Everything is basically of no use, no good, or low value right now. Everything, all right? Food, from the food to services, okay? And you can see they ransacked, the cockpit without letting people know what's going on. That's what I'm saying, no communication, okay? Isaiah 19:2, and I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian, right? So, stuff like this 10, 15, 20 years ago would have been unheard of. Usually what they would do if pilots had issues, they would get arrested before they got on a plane and in a disclosed or discreet area or location of the airport. Okay, they wouldn't embarrass the pilots like that because, like I said, the further back you go in aviation history, pilots were looked up to by everybody in all industries. Okay, and like I said, right now they're looked at as rideshare drivers, basically. Dispendable, no respect. Okay, they don't carry any respect. Okay, amongst themselves, and they're just no different than, like I said, any other, like bus drivers in the past. That was a well qualified profession. Bus taxi driving. Bus operators, different things like that are now obsolete or being discontinued as far as service providing with transportation with the public. Okay, even coach bus operators, okay, had somewhat clout. All right, so these Americans, these Babylonians in uniforms, as far as officials or pilots, they're going at each other, or they're quick to embarrass each other, okay, and not hold each other in esteem anymore. Okay, so he said Isaiah 19:2, and I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian, right? All right, and if they had a problem with the pilot, like I said, 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago, they would have one or two officers would have just discreetly removed him. They wouldn't have bum rushed the cockpit, okay, and made a scene. All right, they wouldn't have did that. Luke 12:2, for there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known. Right, and ultimately with this story, the reason why they did this pilot the way they did was because they brought him up on child pornography cases, okay, or a case. So see. Now, Most High is exposing this Edomite, okay, this white man, all right, for his fuckery, all right. So that's why he got, embarrassed and made a spectacle, okay. Plus, he's a heathen, all right. So, you got the Edomite woman and a woman, they don't know anything. They jump into conclusions, crying, instead of getting all the facts before you make an emotional decision, okay, that doesn't have nothing to do with you. You're already emotionally invested. That's why women are stupid as far as, their spiritual sense, and they're not compared to a man because they don't understand a lot of things, okay? They are quick to get emotional about everything, all right? And that's totally unnecessary, especially in these times. fools, folly, and foolishness will get you killed, okay, in these times. And the Heavenly Father does not care about a woman's tears or her ability to understand the situation, okay. Men are running this thing and in charge, okay. There was no women going up there to arrest him. It wasn't a woman that was getting arrested or co-pilot. This is men, okay. And we know through the Spirit and the power of the Heavenly Father and His Son, they're men of war, okay. And this is a judgment, okay. So Luke 12:2, for there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known, right? So I don't know how long he was doing this or they were investigating him, but it was brought to light and they acted, which they should, okay? All right, so, whatever he was doing, he was trying to, into perverted things with children. You know how these Edomite men are. They love kids, in the wrong way, in a left-hand side, the evil sense, okay? And, it caught up with him. And all these Edomites are getting exposed for the shit that they do, the debauchery that they do behind closed doors right now. And that's because the curses also are flipping on these Edomites, okay? So this is good, okay? Wait till she get a load of what this pilot that she's so traumatic and shedding tears and so emotionally invested in. Wait till she hears about the child pornography case that's brought up on this man. Will she still be shedding tears then? That's the question. All right. Ecclesiastes 39, okay, 39:28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. Right. Those spirits that went up there, Most High sent them up there to embarrass him and parade him around, not only on the aircraft and off the aircraft, but through the airport as well. All right. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. Okay. And sore enough strokes that woman, okay, and those other passengers were traumatized and looked at this event as traumatic for them, even though they didn't know what was going on. And they even said that the pilots, the captain and the flight crew was confused. So they're traumatized too. That's laying on sore strokes. In a time of destruction, they pour out their force, okay? There was a time to destroy that man, okay, because of what he was doing behind the scenes or behind closed doors with innocents, okay, with children, okay? And that's crazy. In a time of destruction, they pour out their force, okay? So he is destroyed right now. And now, as this case makes why he was being arrested, that's going to destroy him and his family or whoever else he's with even more, okay? His ability to get an airline job and, all types of stuff, and appease the wrath of him that made them, right? So they love that. That's why they went up there 10 deep, 15 deep, all right? Ecclesiastes 39:31. They shall rejoice in his commandment. You know it. Esau couldn't wait to run up on that plane and make a scene and arrest the pilot. That's like a trophy to him, a war trophy. Remember, Esau is a cunning hunter. So he's going to look, especially the Most High has the spirit against Egyptian. You see these Edomites going at each other's throat. I did a video about them talking about shutting down America, crashing out on August 8th. Okay, so they shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon earth, right? And as soon as this motherfucker, I believe, touched down, or they touched down in San Francisco. They were right there ready, okay? They shall be ready upon earth when need is, right? And that's what those cops were ready, because the Most High had them ready for his ass. And when their time is come, they shall not transgress his words, right? So they embarrassed that man so bad. Okay, they didn't have to beat him per se, but some spirits are doing that. You see the stabbing and stuff. Certain spirits are doing more violent or hardcore acts. But in this case, it was enough to traumatize a passenger and other passengers and his own flight crew. Okay, so that's because what? And when their time is come, they shall not transgress his words. So right, so those officers did what they were supposed to do, and it worked, because now it's a story and you have people crying as witnesses, or a woman crying as witnesses. Her own husband wasn't even in a car with her or on the flight with her, and she proceeded to let loose, she says, as far as emotionally on him, bringing that shit to his door. You know, they ain't got nothing to do with him or her. Taking it too far. That's a woman for you. Emotionally invested in something that she don't even understand or know, and now she's gonna be looking stupid once she finds out once she finds out what he was really arrested for. Who knows if that lady has kids? So are the tears or the waterworks gonna still be flowing there? Okay, that's why women are too unstable. They can't be in leadership or power positions. Okay. Job 36:17. But thou hast fulfilled the judgment of the wicked. Judgment and justice take hold on thee. Right. Judgment and justice take hold on thee. And that's what happened to that pilot, that Delta co-pilot. All right. The judgment went out of the wicked. Okay. And judgment and justice took hold on him, took his ass off the plane. All right. Looking crazy and traumatizing those around him. All right. So you see. And then what was this lady talking about? She's talking about the whole situation like it was a Final Destination horror movie and people got killed and whatnot. No. Okay, Matthew 24:8. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Right. All right. So these women are going to start feeling it more and more. Okay, day in and day out. Okay, all these are beginning of sorrows. Yahawah is on the way. And as you can see, it was other issues going on with these planes, okay, with different carriers, okay, and even the same carrier, Delta. Okay, so the Most High is not playing with the airline industry. He's going to shut this shit down. Okay, it's going to come to a point when you won't be able to travel. Remember, you got the Real ID and the TSA, locking things down and ready to go at a moment's notice, okay? And then this MOTB is out there and ready to go. Everything is set up for the Most High to bring this place down, okay? And he's going to use what? The Edomites, Esau, to come down with great wrath, okay, on everybody. All right, so I just wanted to bring that out. The airline industry is basically going to be done pretty soon, all right? Remember, all those pilots that got the jab, and they had to take the jab in order to keep their pilot license or ability to fly with their carrier. A lot of them died, okay, between 2020 and 2021 and 2022. A lot of them passed away, okay. Remember, it was issues we were reporting on that, these pilots were having emergency medical issues, like the captains and whatnot. They would have to do the emergency landings. Now, every day a plane takes off, okay, you got all these issues going on, okay? And if not, the Lord has raised the heat in Babylon the Great, okay? He's turning up the heat, literally, okay? And these planes cannot really fly and take off and land in extreme heat conditions, okay? It's hard for the plane to get airworthiness or lift with the wings because of how hot it is. It has to do with the molecules of the air, okay, and that puts more stress on the engines, okay, as well. And then when they want to land and it's super hot outside, wherever they landed in the country, okay, it takes longer for the plane to stop because they don't want to overheat the brakes. So a lot of ground stops have to be ensued and started at these major airports because of the heat index. So the Lord is speaking. That's why I say he is speaking yet once or twice, but man perceiveth not. Okay, that's you 2/3 and you heathens, okay, as well. But we know through the spirit power of Yahawah, y&ymission, these are judgments from the Lord, okay? No matter what goes on these planes, okay, in or outside the planes or airports, these are all judgments from the Heavenly Father, okay? And his only begotten Son, Yahawah, is on the way, okay? So I just wanted to bring that out. So with that, I like to say all praises to Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Rakak Radash.